Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. I am going to take advantage of starting just a little earlier to check if you guys can hear me okay. Um, so I'm just going to put in the chat, can you all hear me okay? Great. I'm using different headphones today, so it's always good to check. We're just going to get started shortly, give people a chance to trickle in, grab some water. And if you notice, I put a poll up, so feel free to respond to the poll. Curious to learn a little bit more about you guys. Feel free to drop in the chat where you're from, what brought you here today. If you have any specific questions in mind. Hello from Seattle. Happy to report it's not raining here, but it's cold. I feel like there needs to be some music here to kind of start things going. Milwaukee. Nice to meet you, Sam. Hope everything's fine in Milwaukee and that you're tolerating the winter and staying warm. Alrighty, well, I'm just going to get started, and as people trickle in, they're going to trickle in. So thank you so much for joining our virtual event today to discuss and go over automated visual inspections with cobots. We will be focusing a little bit on universal robots, although we do integrate with other robotics as well. So hopefully the slides are big enough for you guys to see. I just wanted to call out that we will be attending Universal Robots Collaborate, which is on January 28th. So feel free to reach out. Let me know if you're attending, if we'll see you in Michigan. If not, then possibly some upcoming events as well. We're always involved in a lot of these events, and we're excited to demo. So stop by our booth and feel free to see our demo in person. So a little bit about Groundlight. This slide is to say that I work with some very, very brilliant and smart people. Essentially, I work with Avi and Leo. They are both our founders, and Leo's our CTO. Avi is our CEO. And essentially, they have backgrounds. Leo was one of the leading experts in computer vision at Amazon, and Avi has a background from Microsoft as well. We have a team of experts. Our head of R&D has a PhD from MIT. We focus on a lot of different industries, from industrial manufacturing to safety facility monitoring, mobile robotics. I'll be talking a little bit more about robotics today. And we're based in Seattle, Washington. So today, we're going to talk about how, in general, you can integrate computer vision into your business and applications. We're also going to talk a little bit about the powerful combination of machine vision with cobots in general. And we're going to go over a couple of case studies, one being how a Fortune 500 company is currently using Groundlight to detect defects in automotive parts, as well as how you can use Groundlight to supervise CNC machine tending applications. And then I'm going to go a little bit more into the detail of how exactly does it work, how do you set up, I think a lot of people think that AI and machine vision is very complicated and complex to integrate into your applications. We've made it easy. We basically take care of the machine learning for you so you can focus on your business operations. And with that, we're going to have some time for questions at the end. So, although I'm going to focus a little bit more on universal robots, cobots, I wanted to highlight that there's a lot of different ways that you can integrate our computer vision into your business operations. We have even an integration for the Boston Dynamics Spot. I'm sure you're familiar with that walking robot. We also have for those who don't necessarily have robotics and want a standalone system to perform automated visual inspections, we have something called the Groundlight Hub, which is a plug and play system. No coding, no programming required. You literally plug this appliance into your basically internet, and it'll detect your cameras, and that way you can set up a standalone automated visual inspection system that way without cobots or universal robots. For more advanced robotics users, we also have API and ROS integrations. So we also have a way for you to, with a few lines of code, deploy your own custom computer vision application. So if, for example, you're not a Universal Robots user, that's okay. Feel free to reach out to me and I'd be happy to tell you a little bit more about these other solutions as well. So we know that the goal when it comes to cobots is unattended operation. Cobots are amazing. They're allowing us to work better and faster than ever before. But however, you still have this interesting dynamic of humans and cobots working together. And unfortunately, sometimes things go wrong. Things about the environment changes. Not sure if you can see here, but with the query, is the work cell setup correct? In this case, an anomaly has been detected where someone left a bottle in the work cell. So this is an example of where mistakes happen, human errors happen, someone leaves a tool in the machine, and although in the spectrum of things that can go wrong, it depends on the situation, but it can go from the robot will stop to make sure that no further damage is caused, or it can happen that your machine can become broken because the door wasn't open when it was supposed to be open or was closed. So in this case, the goal is to ensure that we have unattended operation, that there is a way for us to have checks and balances to make sure that the robot is working as it should. And to follow up on this, there are a lot of different ways to detect anomalies as well as to perform visual inspections. But with Groundlight, we enable vision as the universal sensor. And I'll talk a little bit more about what that means as well. And to touch upon alternative vision inspection systems, there's a lot of different inspection systems out there. However, I would say that we are more flexible. We can adapt to new applications. So you install us once and say you want to change your setup, you don't need to uninstall us and then reinstall and call a expensive consultant to redo the entire application. You really just literally log into your dashboard and you change the query. In this way, we can quickly respond to new types of anomalies. So if there are new problems that are occurring, our system can detect that right away. Also, our system doesn't require special technical skills to implement. You literally just describe your problem in plain language, and it's as easy as programming your cobot. So here's a case study for a CNC machine tending application. So there are different steps, as you know, when it comes to machine tending. So here are examples of different things that would need to be checked and ensured that things are going properly. So for example, is the CNC door open? Check. Is the setup correct? Check. Are the parts ready for loading? Is the CNC door closed? Is the coolant flowing? Is the program running correctly? And there's so many things that can go wrong when it comes to unfortunately operating your business. And our system allows this extra layer of assurance that things are going smoothly. And this allows your human operators to focus on other parts of your business, knowing that they have the confidence that the robot is doing everything it should. And here's an example of what this might look like from a camera perspective. Is the vise set up correct? You can see that here the vise is set up correct. Here, maybe due to human error, the wrong jaws were used. Maybe there's some chips in the jaws. And so our system can detect when the device is not set up correct in this way. So different ways to detect failure. Here's another example of if the part is correctly presented. If the part correctly presented, is the part correctly presented to be picked? Whew, that's quite a mouthful. Try saying that quickly 5 times. So yes, the part is ready to be picked. No, there is no part. Here it's the wrong part, and here it's the wrong orientation. So our system can pick up on those types of things as well. And I think this is one last example, but is the block placed correctly in the vise? This happens. Sometimes a robot picks up the block, drops it in the vise. A lot of times it gets it right, but occasionally, on occasion, you'll have slightly incorrect placement, which can unfortunately cause disruption. So you have, yes, the block is placed correctly in the vise. Here, unfortunately, you have no part, and here it's a bad placement. So I'm going to show you just a really quick video of our demo at IMTS 2024. It's happening very quickly, so I'll do my best to kind of. So this is Tim, and he is walking through our demo here at IMTS. The video is a little small, but we have the robot arm going, and he has the teaching pendant in his hand where he is directly operating Groundlight. So Groundlight is integrated in Universal Robot software. So checking, is the fixture correct? Is the part ready to be picked up? Is the work cell clear of tools? So you can see it's just a demo of the hex. Okay, so he's getting the robot ready to start. And now it's checking. Oh, and it detected that there's a tool left in the work cell. So he's removing the tool, making sure that's the right type of block. The robot is picking it up, placing it into the vise. Okay, but first it's inspecting the vise, making sure the jaws are correct. Now it's going to do that. Okay, placement's correct. Now it's running the CNC machine, removing the blanc, and there you go. And that's just a very quick example of how our system provides those checks and balances. Another example is where a Fortune 500 company, LKQ, is using Groundlight to check, and this specific example, is the colored link on the chain aligned with the fiducial on the gear. So here are different examples of what a pass and a fail looks like. Instead of having a human operator looking at this, our system is able to analyze images that are quickly taken. Quality manager LKQ says we're able to catch defects long before they reach the customer and close the loop on process improvements to keep those defects from happening at all. Here's an example of some screenshots. This is super tiny, but that is to say that you have access to your own dashboard and you can see all the examples of passes and fails. We also can generate inspection reports, and this allows for traceability to kind of see, okay, were there any defects? When did those happen? What is the part number? What is the engine type? What's the job number? So that is all very possible. And this is just to summarize all of it together. It's a lot of text. So this is to say, again, is the fiducial marker in the gears properly aligned? And the challenge being ensuring accurate timing change alignment during engine assembly. And unfortunately, there's human error. As we know, occasionally that happens. Someone's tired, someone is distracted. And the goal is to catch defects before final assembly. And so our solution ensured accuracy and efficiency in the high mix assembly. So it allows them to set up new inspections in under 10 minutes, saving them thousands of dollars in downtime. So with all of that, how does it actually work? How do you actually set this up and make it happen? So this is an example of just a very simple setup. You have a camera, and it doesn't have to be a specific type of camera. Well, it has to be RTSP, has to have an RTSP feed and be ONVIF compatible. And if you're not really sure what that means, we're happy to suggest a camera for you. Actually, Tim uses sometimes a Logitech, like a kind of a cheaper Logitech camera. And I think this is a little bit more of a more expensive industrial camera. Doesn't have to be an expensive industrial camera. We don't make our business in cameras, so we are camera agnostic. We will integrate with your existing cameras. So in this case, camera is perched on the Universal Robot, the Cobot arm, and it is inspecting, does the base plate have 4 bolts in it? And here you have the Groundlight Compute module plus the Universal Robot software URCAP. And it is connected to your existing camera stream. And when you go onto Groundlight's dashboard, you just simply type in your natural language what you are looking to detect. And in this case, we're looking to detect, is the work cell setup correct? And in here, we have something called a confidence interval, which is from 0 to 100. So here, for example, if you set it to 90%, this will ensure that if the system is less than 90% sure that the work cell is correct, it'll escalate to a human, a real human. Okay, so what does that mean, escalate to a human? Okay, so here's an example of where it's detecting, is the work cell setup correct? And it has located something of an anomaly. A water bottle has been left in the work cell. So the system has never seen this before. It has never seen a water bottle detected in the work cell. So it's going to say, no, I don't think this is set up correct. However, I'm only 70% sure that this is incorrect. So I'm going to say, I don't know how to answer this, but something is going on. And this is different from what you see with like ChatGPT, where ChatGPT will always confidently give you a yes or a no answer. It doesn't really tell you necessarily how confident that answer is. So in this case, this is escalated to a real human. So now we have a real human who is given that query, and that can be either your staff or Groundlight staff. So in this case, Groundlight staff is looking at the image and confirming, no, the work cell is not set up correct. So that feedback is given back to our artificial intelligence, and the system says, oh, okay, I can confirm. You have given me that confirmation. No, it is not correct. So AI basically learns from the answer. So it is able to quickly learn and adapt this way. And as a result, it says no, and it alerts the user. And alerts can be customized, whether email or text message. Actually, customization is possible depending on how you want the alert to be done. It can also be connected to a stack light, so you can see alerts that way. And so in this way, the user is alerted that there is an anomaly detected before something bad happens. And again, as a reminder, also custom inspection reports can also be generated to see, in what cases did a pass or a fail happen. So bringing it all together, this is something called humans in the loop. So this is human-guided artificial intelligence. It is something that allows the system to work from day one. So you are essentially guiding, and you have control over the definition of what is a correct setup here. And this is just one example of something that you can detect. You can also make sure that the part is oriented correctly. You can also make sure that the part does not have any defects in it. It really depends on what you are looking to detect. So how do you set this up? So again, this is specific to Universal Robots. So if you're interested in learning about like a standalone system, or if you want to build your own custom applications, we have different guides and tools for that as well. So happy to tell you about that. But with Universal Robots, it's simply something called the Groundlight Compute module plugs in here, and the software is downloaded to the teaching pendant. There's also optional cameras that can be provided. Stack light can also be hooked up. So if an anomaly is detected, if something is wrong, the stack light will flash as well. And then here's a screenshot of the software itself. So again, Groundlight integrates directly on the Universal Robots teaching pendant. And you can see here that there is a new section here in the settings called image query choose detector. In this case, you would choose you would set up your detectors here. And by detector, I mean basically, what are you detecting? What are you looking to observe and monitor? So in this case, you're looking to maybe observe like bolts in the base plate, and the query text says, does the base plate have 4 bolts in it? So ensuring that that step is properly placed. And we also have a video that walks through our Universal Robots software a little bit.
Today I'm
go through the entire video, but if you're curious, how does that actually work? We have basically Tim walking through how does this actually work from the teaching pendant. So going a little bit there, you can see it's very flexible. And again, this is what we mean by if your environment changes, you can change it as well. It really just depends on what you are looking to detect here. And here are examples of where you can add an image. So say you want to detect if the block is placed correctly, You can take pictures of block improperly placed and upload it to the system so that it knows in advance, okay, this is an improperly placed block. And yeah, and again, this is to say we have other ways, standalone systems, just would be with the Groundlight Hub, which is our computer vision appliance. It would just basically plug and play. I won't go into that in as much detail because probably can do a separate session on that, but happy to talk about that as well. It basically works in exactly the same way. It's just that instead of universal robots, it's just a standalone camera that is looking at your setup. So exact setup there. Yeah, just a little bit about the Groundlight Hub. It connects to your new existing cameras. It can run custom applications and flexible system that supports a range of IP and USB cameras. There's also fully managed deployments available, and it allows for edge-based machine learning deployments, which is lower cost and latency. And also interfaces to a variety of industrial systems that are with flexible IP-based, serial, and GPIO-based connections. So we have a lot of different ways that you can implement computer vision and integrate that into your business operations. So yeah, with that, that's actually the end of my presentation. I actually went through a lot faster than I thought I did. I thought I would end up taking a bit of time doing that, but I think this is to say, feel free to reach out if you're attending Collaborate in Michigan. Otherwise, I'd be happy to have a call with you directly to tell you a little bit more about our solution, as well as basically what we can do for your business. So let me drop my meeting link in there, and if you are interested, you are welcome to schedule a meeting with me directly. One second. There are, yeah, one. Yeah, in the meantime, does anyone have any questions in terms of my meeting link? Yeah, so happy to have a meeting with you. Feel free to schedule some time. Just wanted to check if anyone has any questions about our setup, as well as how our computer vision technology works. I'll pause in here. Well, one question we get, for example, is how many detectors or computer vision models can you set up at once? The answer is you can set up pretty much endless amount. Our system is a subscription-based system, subscription-based system. So you pay for what you use, essentially. Like if you want to detect more, then you can do that. It's not necessarily that you're restricted to just one type of query. You can also have multiple models running on one camera. So say you have one camera pointed at a work cell. You can have the setup be, is the work cell setup correct? But you can also ask another question of the same image. So this is also what we mean by flexibility, is that you have the flexibility to do different types of checks in terms of your systems. And another question we get often is, I've already talked about what kind of robots we integrate with. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Short and sweet. Thank you all for your time. I really enjoy talking about our question. Oh, actually, I think we have a, oh, okay, yeah, we got a question. Is it possible to read text on a label? Yes, actually, we do have text recognition. Whereas I'm not sure if it's possible with our universal robots integration, but our standalone systems do allow for text recognition. We actually do have, for example, an inventory monitoring solution. Let me share an example of that. This is not related to universal robots, but we have a section here called use cases where we show different ways our technology can be applied. Here's an example of inventory monitoring, and we have an example of where our system can read and recognize the different text on the inventory and actually kind of do like provide like an inventory auditing process that way. So that is also very much possible with our text recognition. Yeah, great question. Does anyone else have any other questions? Just typing, I'll put the link to here. All right. Well, thank you all so much for your time. I will be likely presenting more on this topic, probably with different use cases, going deeper into different types of features. Perhaps we can have even a session on text recognition as well as inventory monitoring. And looking forward to hearing from you, and have a good rest of your day. Thank you. Bye-bye.